Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today. It is Monday, the 22nd of April. We do have a 7-game main slate. I'm not sure about any weather issues, but that is something we can dig into later. As always, this is a first look at the pitching options. Um, Very little to zero research done before I even open it here. So we'll take a look at DraftKings since that's where a majority of my play is. When it comes to FanDuel, I generally cut my pitching pool in half, just because we don't really need to get as wide over there. Pricing isn't as tight for getting our stacks and so on. So let us take a look here. At the top, excuse me, we get Brady Singer. He's been pretty solid this season. Um, Strikeout game outlier, I guess, to begin the year against the Twins. Just 13 strikeouts in his 3 starts since then. Current K prop sitting at 4.5. Juice is kind of on the under, so that's not overly exciting, I guess. He's actually a slight home underdog as well, so I think I'm going to keep Singer in my pool. I have had success this season targeting Toronto with a couple of pitchers. Not all the time, but a couple of pitchers have paid off pretty well. So I think Singer's going to stay in the pool, at least initially. Um, we don't really have a ton of great options on this slate. So I think Singer's definitely capable of putting up enough points to be an SP1 type play by the end of the night. Dylan Cease going into Colorado. Don't really love that because of his kind of control issues. His K numbers haven't been there. I don't know if he's going to be a big K guy that he was a couple years ago. I mean, 7 Ks in each of his last 3 starts is pretty strong, but a couple years ago we were seeing him strike out 9-10 quite a bit. So um, the Padres have definitely let him roll 100 plus pitches in 3 straight starts now. I know it's Colorado, but this Colorado offense is pretty weak overall. I think we just have to use Cease. A minus 185 road favorite. K prop is 7.5. Juice is on the under, but still, that appears to be the highest K prop on this main slate. So definitely going to go with Cease. I think I'm going to prefer him over Singer even, which is kind of crazy considering it is Coors, but that's okay. Reed Detmers has looked phenomenal to me in the season. I'm very interested. He was great against Baltimore in his first start of the year. Uh, I have to look at some updated Baltimore numbers, but I know at one point over the last week, Baltimore was struggling a lot more against left-handed pitching. Uh, I know throughout the year we're not going to target pitchers against Baltimore very often. K prop is 6.5, and he's actually a slight minus 118 favorite in this game. I think Detmers is certainly in play. Be interesting to see what the field does, considering the opponent. If they're just going to blindly avoid him because he's facing Baltimore or not. Uh, be really interesting. Gonna have zero interest in Lance Lynn, or next to zero, I guess. He's been solid in his starts. One bad one against Miami. Coming off a 1K performance, which is kind of shocking. Um, he is a slight underdog in this game at home against Arizona. K prop of 4.5. Juice on the over. So Vegas kind of expects him to bounce back from a K standpoint. I just don't really want to use a right-handed pitcher against Arizona. I really don't want to use pitching in general against Arizona whenever possible. Kikuchi definitely in play. Has looked phenomenal over the last handful of starts. taking on a Kansas City squad that definitely can strike out a little bit. K prop of 6.5. Like I mentioned, Toronto is a slight favorite in this game as well. So uh, definitely been burned in the past by Kikuchi in some spots, but the way he's throwing the baseball right now, I'm definitely very interested at this point. Brandon Pfaadt, guy that I'm considering not including. Um, like I mentioned, St. Louis or Arizona, sorry, in this game is actually favored, but I'm just not sure I want to use Pfaadt on the road. K prop is 5.5, um, but I don't know. It's tough. I like Pfaadt, but I'm gonna have to consider that one uh, throughout the day. Bryce Elder getting the call up to get his first start of the year. Looked good in AAA. And he gets to face a really weak Marlins squad. K prop is just 4.5. Juice on the under. Not a strong strikeout guy, but he is a minus 230 favorite. So um, I think he's going to be fairly popular. Sorry, excuse me. Fairly popular on the slate, but I think that's okay and it's to be expected. As we go down here, definitely some names that I don't know that people are really going to consider. At least generally they wouldn't be considering on tonight's slate. They probably will. Paddock, because we're always going to pick on the White Sox at this point, is a minus 180 favorite. K prop of 4.5, which isn't overly impressive or anything, but coming off of a start where he got absolutely lit up by Baltimore. But he's actually decent against the Dodgers, not bad against the Brewers, just not going overly deep, throwing a lot of pitches early. Um, I'm gonna have to go there just because we want to pick on the White Sox. Um, and as a Twins fan, I really hope that Paddock can find his path again. That first year with San Diego, he came up and it was really surprising. Had some pretty strong appearances, so I know the ability's there. It's just a matter of putting it together. So I'm definitely going to use Paddock. Keaton Wynn has been decent. Um, excuse me. The Mets have been solid. Glasnow actually dominated them yesterday, but uh, Wynn's K prop 4.5. Juice on the over. He's a minus 122 favorite, and we know that we love pitching in this ballpark. So because of that, that is why I'm going to consider Wynn and Quintana in my pool. Quintana has definitely been solid for the Mets. His K prop is 4.5 as well. If this was a stronger main slate, maybe a 10 gamer with some stronger names or something, I don't think I would consider Quintana. Um, just because I'm not really sure how much upside he truly has anymore. He's more of a better real life pitcher than a fantasy pitcher, but on this slate, I think we do need to consider him, especially because of the ballpark he's pitching in. Ryan Weathers coming off of I would say, his best major league start, probably best professional start. I'm just not going to use him against Atlanta. If Ryan Weathers beats me, then so be it. Jonathan Cannon looks solid in his debut. Nothing spectacular. Sitting with a K prop of 4.5 with juice on the under. Um, excuse me. But we do know that Minnesota strikes out quite a bit, so I am going to be using Cannon. Doesn't feel great to do so, but I'm going to do it. And I know people are going to ask me about Albert Suarez. I am not going to chase this start. It's going to be really difficult because I do think he's going to be super popular. Um, I went back after the start and I looked at his history. This is by far his best Major League Baseball start. Um, so if we're looking at this as his absolute best, um, I don't really want to chase, a career performance. So I don't know. I'm gonna get a lot of questions about him. He's going to be popular, but man, I just don't know. I just don't think it's there. Uh, is an underdog, like I mentioned, and his K prop is currently 3.5. Juice on the over, but still 3.5. So there we have it. There's the first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, optimizer, Discord, etc. I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.